when we talk about the word annexation means occupying or taking over. The British took over the Boer Republic of Natal in the year of 1843. So under this, what are we interested in? We are interested in knowing why the British were interested in occupying, in annexing Natal or Natalia. Why was Natal annexed by the British in 1843? Remember, Natal is also known as Natalia. So a question can be, why was Natalia annexed by the British in 1843? So those are the reasons we are going to look at. And we are saying that in 1842, the British forces under Captain Smith attacked, and in Natal in 1843 made it part of the British Cape Colony. Okay, the British forces under Captain Smith attacked Natal, and Natal was made a British colony in the year of 1843. Among the reasons that made the British to annex Natal included the British wanted to take the port of Natal for commercial reasons, just to do business. Natal was next to a sea, so it had a port where ships could dock. So they wanted to take over that port and do their business activities. Then the British wanted to protect their missionaries, okay, working in Natal. These were men of God who were doing the evangelical work in Natal. And if you recall, these missionaries were more so doing the work of preaching equality, something that the Dutch never wanted. So their stay in Natal was threatened, and so the British had to protect them. And then another one, the British wanted to protect their farmers living in Natal. Those farmers were being threatened by the Boers. So they claimed that they went to occupy Natal in order to protect them from the Boers, who were enemies to the British. Then the instability in the region could threaten the British imperial interests. Okay? There were some instabilities. The Boers were fighting with Africans. So the British claimed to have gone there to settle the instabilities, the conflicts that had broken up in the region. And then another one, the British were determined to restore peace and stability on the eastern border of the Cape. Okay? Sometimes we call it the eastern frontier. That is where the Boers had fought with the Xhosa for a long period of time. Okay? In what we call Kafiri Wars. And those wars had escalated for a long period of time. So the British claimed that they wanted to end those wars. So they wanted to base at Natal and end such conflicts between the Boers and the Africans. Then annexation was the only way of bringing back the Boers under the British control. Okay? Because the British believed that they were more superior than the Boers. Okay? That the Boers were below them. Something that the Boers were not accepting. So by annexing the Republic of Natal was the only way the British could put the Boers under their control. So that is why they annexed. And another one, the British claimed that Natal had been given to them, okay, and the area been given to them by King Shaka. Okay, King Shaka had given Natal to the British as a gift. So the annexation was like a way of reminding the Boers that they took what did not belong to them. So they had gone there to occupy what had been given to them by King Shaka, one of the strong Zulu kings that ruled before Dingane. Then another one, the rumors of mineral discovery in the interior of South Africa. Okay, the British had had rumors that Natal was having minerals. Okay, because other minerals had also been discovered in different areas. So the British claimed that Natal was having mineral deposits, gold, diamond, and others. So they went there simply because they wanted to occupy the mineral deposits that they expected to be in the Natal region. And then another one, the British feared that the control of Port Durban by the Boers would outcompete Cape Town as a commercial center. Okay, so they wanted to have two ports such that they don't get strong competitors from the Boers after taking over Port Durban that was in Natal. And again another one, the Boer government in Natal was too weak to provide a strong and reasonable government. That is what the British claimed, that the Boer government in Natal, which the Boers had established, remember we said that government the Boers had established called the Volksraad, which comprised of 24 members, and the president of the Volksraad, we said, was called Andries Pretorius. Okay, Andries Pretorius. So when the British heard that the Boers had set up that government in around 1839, they claimed that government was too weak to run a government. Okay, that council was too weak to run a government, and so they took over Natal because of those reasons. And another one, the Boers in Natal, okay, the Boers in Natal are the first Africans who lived between rivers, okay, Tugela and Umuzimvubu, to move towards the Cape Colony, and they threatened, okay, and they threatened to cause instability. What are we meaning here? When the Boers took over Natal, they ended up chasing away the Africans because of different reasons. Okay? Remember, some of them had been defeated in the Battle of Blood River of 1838. And others moved away because of the discrimination of the Boers, the Boer enslavement. And when they moved away from Natal, they ended up going to the Cape Colony, where the British were settled. So the British, by taking over Natal, it was an effort to stop further African migration, the migration of the Africans towards the Cape. So they wanted to keep them in Natal such that they don't migrate to the Cape and crowd the area. Then majority of the European traders had been calling at Port Durban, okay, had been calling at Port Durban in Natal and establishing trade contacts with the Boers, okay, and establishing trade contacts with the Boers, okay. So that made the British to take over the Republic of Natal, the Republic of Natal. Okay, because of such reasons. Okay, then another one, the British could not allow the existence of a strong rival, okay, a strong rival European state in the interior of South Africa, and on the coast of the Indian what? On the Indian Ocean, since it could interfere with the prosperous what? With the prosperous trade. Okay? So they could not allow a strong group of people like the Dutch to be at Natal, at the coast of the Indian Ocean, because that could interfere with their business activities and their interests they had in South what? In South Africa. So they had to take over Natal because of such what? Reasons. Then in point 15, we are saying that the British feared that Natal could emerge as a rival state to the Cape Colony and outcompete the British. So they never wanted any competitor, they never wanted any rival. Okay? Rivalry, it was to do with the competing over different reasons. So they never wanted that, because remember, the Boers had moved away to the Cape, from the Cape going to the interior where they formed in Natal after being annoyed by the British. So the British feared that maybe those Boers were going to stage themselves there as a strong group and outcompete the British who were at the Cape. And again, another one, the British were determined to protect the entire coastline of South Africa, and they sailed to